For 15 years, she navigated the volatile social landscapes of unscripted television with the precision of a high-stakes chess player. The Traitors is typically a game won by the analytical. Veterans of series like Big Brother and Survivor usually survive by tracking data, calculating probabilities, and identifying threats through cold mathematical deduction. Phaedra Parks arrived at the castle with a different toolkit. Her experience was built on narrative curation and the accumulation of social capital. This season transformed a remote Scottish castle into a sociological laboratory. It tested a single question: can the social engineering of a docu-soap star paralyze the logic of a professional gamer? To understand her defense, we have to look at her history. During the third season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, she faced intense scrutiny regarding a pregnancy timeline that didn't add up. Rather than negotiate with facts or medical logic, she insisted there were simply differing opinions on human gestation. She used poise and social shame to project an unassailable alternative reality that her peers eventually stopped questioning. She imported this blueprint into the game by weaponizing domesticity. While her castmates frantically parsed the logistics of the latest murder, she requested boiled eggs for breakfast and prayed for the group. She projected a role as the house's maternal anchor. This behavior created a distortion field. The gamers were looking for strategic panic or nervous physical tells. Because she exhibited neither, their analytical models registered her as a faithful. This diagram shows how her behavior influenced the house structure. She embedded herself at the center of a dense relational barrier. The competition gamers, meanwhile, were pushed to the isolated edges of the social network. Up in the Traitors turret, she took a back seat. She allowed her partners to select the victims, ensuring her fans remained clean of the empirical data that gamers track to identify the killers. By refusing to play within the logical parameters of a strategy game, she constructed a layer of social camouflage that the gamers' tools weren't designed to see. That social camouflage was tested in episode 6. Big Brother legend Dan Giesling fell into a shield trap. Recognizing his position was compromised, he attempted a data-driven assassination on Phaedra to offer the house a high-value target and save himself. He assumed her passivity meant she lacked the tactical agility to defend herself under direct fire. It was a severe underestimation. Her response at the roundtable was a lesson in litigation. She didn't try to disprove his logic. Instead, she dismantled his authority to make the argument. She rebranded him as Dirty Dan, framing his quiet observational style, not as a strategy, but as a moral failure. She made his clinical approach look like parasitism. He appealed to his reputation as an expert analyst. She pointed to the tangible social support she provided to the group. The cast banished him in a landslide 11-1-1 vote. In a public forum, weaponized social shame defeated clinical data. But the execution had a byproduct. Dan's exit planted a seed of suspicion that her charm couldn't entirely wash away. A new alliance emerged, the Peter Pals. They abandoned public drama and pivoted to a strict binary analytical protocol, using closed doors and behavioral testing to flush out the traitors. This step chart tracks the decay of her position over subsequent banishment cycles. As her camouflage level drops, the votes against her climb. The game shifted from a social environment to a mechanical one. By episode 9, her cover hit 0. Under sustained pressure from players like John Burkow, her composure shifted. Her indifference at breakfast vanished. When questioned, she moved immediately to defensive anger and sharp deflections. A social shield is an effective defense against a sudden ambush. It is less reliable in a relentless war of attrition. In the endgame, Phaedra ran into what we can call the loyalty deadlock. She reached a point where survival required constructing a manipulative lie to frame her closest allies, and she simply refused to do it. When Cherie Whitfield, a friend of nearly 30 years, looked her in the eye and asked if she was a traitor, Phaedra remained silent. She chose to protect the friendship over the prize money. When C.T. Tamburello offered her an escape route by asking for alternative suspects to vote for, she didn't name a single person. She wouldn't throw another player under the bus to save herself. Her commitment to maintaining a loyal image outside the castle ultimately prevented her from executing the betrayals required to win inside of it. The Traitors is a unique hybrid ecosystem. A player can use social engineering to survive the early stages, but eventually, the machinery of the game demands an execution. Because she refused to transition her playstyle and cannibalize her allies, her defensive strategy hit its absolute limit. In a game that requires constant adaptation, she remained static, leading to a unanimous banishment. The tragedy of Phaedra Parks isn't that she missed out on the grand prize, she just couldn't outlive the simulation she built. Did her intuition expose the limits of gaming, or did her final stand solidify her legacy as a television mastermind? Let us know your read in the comments below.